Tara Robinson, who was clinically dead in 2014, is here, miraculously here today, to answer my questions. And so the first question is, you were clinically dead in 2014. How are you here today with us? Because you're very much alive.
I'm very much alive, thank God, right? 2014, when I had my heart attack, I went into sudden cardiac arrest on the operating table and died and went to heaven. Came back here, luckily, thank God, and I'm here to share my story with the world.
And so you arrived at the hospital. What happened? It was an emergency by this time, was it? And
I just walked and got in the bed and told, they just said, just go back, because I just left. So yeah. I walked and put myself in the bed, and then they hooked up the EKG, and then the cold blue thing went off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not dead. Yeah. But all these people came out of everywhere, and that's when they kind of told me that I was having a massive heart attack.
So what's your memory? Because you won't know all of this because you were dead for a period. So what is your memory of what was being said, and when do you remember things again?
I remember everything up until when I die, and then I remember some things afterwards. Yeah. So all this time when they're telling me about my heart, me and him are sitting, me and my husband are sitting there like in shock, like deers and headlights, because we were like, what? Because mind you, I have no markers, have no history of my own, and so this was very alarming, to say the least.
Yeah. And so, what did they say was the reason? Were you given any reason? Because I think you were a medical mystery to them, weren't you?
Yes, I think I'm still a medical mystery. That's the thing. They don't know. He took it to 25 cardiovascular doctors in that area, and they couldn't believe I was still alive based on, how many heart attacks I had up until this point and the damage that was done. I had 99% blockage. We know that to be the widowmaker. And so I don't know how it went undetected.
Yeah. And so you've had 3 heart attacks in 3 days. Mm-hmm. You've been clinically dead. You don't recover from that. You don't leave hospital and just recover. That must have been hard physically, hard mentally. How did you get through that period?
As women, we're so strong. Yep. And so I had to peel off those layers of being strong and and be okay with being weak for a moment. And that was hard. So mentally, I dealt with the fact that, first of all, they gave me like 20 different medications to take. And I'm like, what is this? So that was panic. And then all the changes I had to make that I thought we were doing good on, and still tighten up even more on eating and salt and all these things they throw at you when you leave the hospital, then to deal with the fact that I died or that I'm even having a heart attack. So I'm dealing with all these little nuances and still not wanting my husband to see me as weak or see my kids to see me down or sick or worry them. And so you're dealing with all of these things in your mind. My job, can I be off? I had, as a school, you only get 10 days in the U.S. being off. So I had to put in for, all the leave and all of those things that impact us that we don't talk about after having, heart attacks or dealing with chronic disease that worry us. So mentally and physically, I'm fighting on both ends.
So you have been therapy. So in terms of your job, you're worried about income, you're worried about keeping your job. It's a real mental strain. Yeah. I think you talked about survivor's guilt. Tell me a bit more about that.
Yes, I'm worried about my job. I'm worried about my family as a whole, worried about myself, and then you deal with survivor's guilt. I love my family, I love my children, but I didn't want to come back to the good old, U.S. of A. Yeah. I didn't want to come back because when you go to heaven, I experienced peace. Yeah. And so it wiped my mind just really clear of worry. And so who wants to come back and have to deal with all of that again? So although I love my family very much, I experienced something so beautiful in heaven that I did not want to come back here.
Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you can. You just need to hit the button now. And otherwise, please remember to take good care of your health.